Hello, friends. In today's episode, I would like to speak to you about grief. If you really look up the definition or meaning of this term grief, you will find a very, very simple approach or meaning of it is intense sorrow. And oftentimes, if you ever come across this word anywhere on social media, or if someone tells you that they've been grieving, the first thought that comes to anyone's mind is perhaps the person has lost someone, there has been a death in the family, or they may have lost a very significant or a closed family member, and therefore they are grieving. Now, in this episode, I would like to address not just the meaning of what grief is, and that it is just not confined to this one meaning of losing someone through death, but also would like to announce, which I've already done, but via this podcast, that going forward as a life coach, I have ventured into this particular area and niche of helping people, assisting them recover, restore, and heal, especially those who are experiencing grief and loss. I chose this area basis on my own personal experiences of grief and several episodes of it, including passing away of my father 3 weeks ago on 12th May 2021. I have been working on my niche, but with my marketing team, and there have been several other ideas that I had. But I decided to pick this one up, which is a little less travel path, because this is an emerging specialty within coaching. But I took this up because my intent and purpose is to add value and really help anyone who's in need of support, who may find themselves really stuck in grief and loss. And it does cascade over other spheres of life. And support is something that each one of us need, the way I need it. And I reached out to my coach. I may really want to assist and help anyone who's in need of assistance and help for overcoming their grief. So this particular episode, while I share with you the real meaning of grief, which is just not about losing somebody in the family or a loved one, even job loss or loss, economical or financial losses, where we can lose our home, or we may lose the kind of control or the kind of savings we may have had for over a period of time, also lead to grief. Giving you some few examples are from my own life, where there was a point in time where I used to work for a startup firm, and for 2 years, we, along with my team, when I say we, I just got reminded of the great team that I had at that time. We worked together for 2 years to really build the whole function up. But one unfortunate day, we learned that the partners had a conflict, and the partnership got dissolved because they both parted ways and they wanted to move in two different directions. As a result, we all lost our job. We were out and back as unemployed people or a job seeker, whatever you may want to call us. That also is a grief episode. So it's not just that when we lose someone, sometimes a sudden job loss, when we are not prepared and you're like thick into working on certain things, and you figure out that the job, the department, and everything is no longer existing, and you're back on track as a job seeker, that also is when we experience grief. Then there are times when we do not really end up working with some real good people, especially bosses, who, taking the purview of our performance feedback, may end up giving really humiliating people. And before becoming a coach, while I was an HR, I did had several such cases in my life which I had experienced, and my own personal experiences where in lieu of performance feedback, how people are belittled and humiliated. that also is when you experience grief. Yes, of course, when we lose somebody, there is grief. When there are relationships, even though the both couples are living, kicking, and alive, yet on account of infidelity, cheating, or any sort of conflicts, when relationship dies, that is also when we experience grief. So, friends, in a nutshell, grief is not just about death. There are several areas in our life where we all can experience grief. It's a episode and a feeling of intense sorrow where you experience the loss, and the way we really manage it is unique and different. So what one can do about it is that there are several ways that one could really combat it, because just like as we all are unique in our individual sense, the way we process grief, this particular experience, is also different, and it varies from person to person. But my coaching is specifically for those who really find themselves stuck in it, not being really able to find a way out, and are in need of help. So if you know someone, please refer. If you think you need help, please reach out. That's all for today, friends. I hope you're having a great week ahead. And for any help, I share my email address and my contact details. Let's connect and speak. Bye for now.